I feel an opening deep, beauty wind in my hair. I don't need to try, I can cry, there's freedom in the air. I'm happy inside.
This song is actually my song. I produced this last year. I produced an 8-song album on Spotify. So if you go check out Soul Gaze, that's our moniker. Check it out. All right, so this is so exciting. I'm so happy to be back here. I'm so happy. Hi, John. Hi, everyone. Last night was like, I'm all of a sudden a DJ. I'm the DJ of the Conscious Capitalism Summit now. I feel good about it. Feels really good about it. Okay, so today's talk is a new talk. It's about the frontier way, 5 elements to grow a frontier business. Before we get into that, I'd love to kind of share a little bit of context. So life has existed for 3.8 billion years. That is a lot of time for R&D. So I've been really, really interested in nature-inspired design for a long time, and innovation, different forms of innovation to harness nature's billions of years of iterations to solve the global, to solve human design challenges. Let's go through some examples. Biomimicry. Some examples of biomimicry are like wind turbines are modeled after the aerodynamic fins of humpback whales, or solar panels are modeled after butterfly wings. These are forms of harnessing nature to solve human design challenges. Another form of nature-inspired design is circular economy. There should be no byproduct or manufacturing that should go to a landfill. It should be used by something else. So just to kind of go through the circular economy just quickly, raw material to design to production, distribution, to being used, and then back to recycling, and then back to raw materials. This is how nature has done it for billions of years, and it's on us to kind of look at that as well. The type of innovation that I've cared about and that I've kind of double-clicked on in my career is disruptive innovation. And what is disruptive innovation? It's an innovation that takes an existing market and creates a new market. Some examples are like horse and buggy kind of industry was disrupted by the car. Coins and money was disrupted by credit card, PayPal. Books, was disrupted by the internet and now ChatGPT. And so while all these innovations have been kind of taking place, I chose to kind of double click on the taboo categories, namely disrupting the period space, looking at a $15 billion category that hasn't been disrupted in nearly 100 years. Tampons, pads, menstrual cups have been the only things that are really kind of being worked on for a really long time, and there have been such a huge opportunity to take this kind of old, tired space and completely turn it on its head. And so we created a beautiful pair of period-proof underwear that protects you from leaks and keeps you feeling dry. Anyone here heard of Thinx? Yes, awesome. Now you can see it every CVS, and there are so many competitors now, which is really exciting. We created an industry. The next industry is that I've been looking at is disrupting the poop space. Who here has heard of TUSHY? Okay, we are actually auctioning off a TUSHY, so the winner gets a clean butthole. You're welcome. It's so crazy to me because, right now I'm here talking with a lav mic and there's internet and there's stuff coursing through the airwaves, and yet the minute we step into the bathrooms, poof, we're back into the 1800s. The way we wipe ourselves hasn't changed since the late 1800s. And why? Because it's taboo. People don't want to talk about it. It's uncomfortable. It's weird. And also, we're killing 15 million trees for toilet paper consumption. The Canadian boreal forest is one of the greatest carbon sinks in the world, and it's getting decimated by just to wipe our butts with them. It's crazy, actually. And so really looking at bringing, TUSHY is just bringing a simple modern bidet attachment to the American people, and cleaning. We're doing God's work, just cleaning the butts of the American people. So these ecosystem lessons are really big for us. And I've been sort of thinking about what is the next form of innovation. And I've sort of came up with a term called generative innovation. And what is generative innovation? It's a solution that not only solves a current problem, but a future problem too. It's like a double solution, solving a problem one today and solving a problem tomorrow, which is really exciting. And this kind of tees up my next business, which is solving the diaper crisis today and the greater global plastic crisis tomorrow. So quick story, it's a two-second story. I actually told it to Lynn last night, which I was really excited to meet you, Lynn Twist. What a boss, that woman, huh? Incredible. So the story is, I had my boy, Hiro, Sam's grandson, and one day I was just sitting and I was just thinking about how breast milk is considered liquid gold. Who here knows that? You can't spill a drop of breast milk when you're breastfeeding or when you're breast pumping. And the big question is, wait a minute, if breast milk is liquid gold, then baby poop must be fertilizer gold. And right now we're literally wrapping up this fertilizer and just kind of in plastic and in plastic diapers and throwing it in the trash and not harnessing it for good. And there's billions and billions and billions of pounds of baby poop that can be harnessed potentially for good with just breast milk mana, like the good juju from the mom. And so the question was, what if when the baby poops in the diaper, it can trigger something to grow inside the diaper, something that's been dormant in the diaper? And so it was discovered, and it's a longer story, but my son, who was 2 at the time, pointed to a book in my nightstand that was called Pacha's Pajamas. And inside the book, this book had no business being in my nightstand. And I pulled out this book and I opened it up, and on page 29, it said, as I was asking myself the question, what eats plastics? And it says mushroom. There are plastic-eating mushrooms that exist. And that sort of was this big aha moment for me. And I dove deep, deep, deep into the world of plastic-eating mushrooms and how they can potentially serve and solve it, harness nature to heal nature. And so just to kind of give a little context, right now we're on an unsustainable path of increasing plastic consumption. It's not tenable for our next generation, especially. Globally, more than 300,000 diapers per minute are sent to a landfill incinerator, end up in the environment, including the ocean. Microplastics are everywhere. It's in our systems. We're eating the equivalent of more than a credit card of plastic per day. It's really scary, and it's affecting our systems. And so I created a company called Hiro Technologies, named after my son. I'll just play a little video of just what it's about. This needs audio. Is there audio? Yeah. So the idea is that when the baby poops in the diaper, it triggers the mushrooms to grow, eat the diaper, but then when you throw it in a landfill, it starts to eat all the plastics in landfills too. So it's a double solution, solving a problem today, the diaper crisis today, and the global plastic crisis tomorrow. That's my son, Hiro. Our tagline is "Baby Save the World." So once you find a superhero fungus that can eat plastic, you can actually train it to eat plastic faster and better over time. We can actually push evolution forward in a really good way. It's like you're, ushering it in a way that supports the planet. I'll play just a quick video on what we've done with this before I get to the frontier way. This is a story of how we got the idea to harness baby poop and mushrooms to solve the global plastic crisis. So our big, hairy, audacious goal is to solve the global plastic crisis, harnessing baby poop and mushrooms. The way we want to do that is by creating a diaper that has our fungal beads in it. When the baby poops in the diaper, it'll grow, eat the diaper, we throw it in a landfill, eats plastic in the landfills too. That is the big, hairy, audacious goal. Can we do it? We're about to find out. We're going to be harnessing baby poop and mushrooms to eat plastics and help solve the global plastic crisis. Isn't that cool?
So you guys are gonna see a trash and then see find a mushroom and then see how it eats it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was shocked to see that we were going through about 20 diapers a day. The first month I was like, eco mom. I bought literally $500 worth of every cloth diaper you can think of on the market. And I literally put a mask on while I was recovering from my C-section, and I would try to wash them and then put them in the washing machine. And it was the longest, arduous process. And actually the number of washing cycles I went through was just absurd from an energy perspective. So it was like, whoa, some time I was like, I can't do this, since I went disposable diapers. And it was just like, every time I went through a diaper, it was just such a guilty feeling to go through all those diapers every single day. I mean, I learned that the average baby goes through 6,000 diapers in their life cycle, which is like 6,000. That is, I mean, the amount, that's like the size of bigger than this room, which is insane. And that's just one baby. You know, you count for millions and millions of babies being born every year just in this country, plus all the diapers that exist in landfills. That the very first disposable diaper is still in a landfill somewhere today. It's crazy. I'm extremely proud of our Hiro Technologies science team. It's a team of women, which is incredibly difficult to find. We've built our lab, which is huge, in Austin, Texas. We're all span the spaces of mycology, research science, biodegradation, commercialization, and then on our business team and partnership team, we brought in Lowry Mays. He, has that McKinsey pedigree, and we needed someone to really focus on business operations and to really streamline all of the different work streams that we have and make them where we have a timeline to hit, and to have someone really nail the timelines. And so he has that very heavy burden that's no longer mine. Okay, we'll show you the rest of it at some other time. I don't have a whole lot of time, but super, super excited to get to the next phase. Just a quick update on that. We did our first pull of our experiment in the lab, and our mushrooms ate almost over 80% of the diaper in the first month, which is really exciting. So it's working. Okay, so the frontier way. So over the last almost 2 decades, I've been, as I was building Wild, my first restaurant, gluten-free farm-to-table pizza concept in New York, you're all invited, but really pushing the boundaries of food back then, to building Thinx and disrupting the feminine hygiene category, and then to building TUSHY, to really, again, hopefully disrupting the poop space, to now Hiro. I've spent sort of all these years distilling kind of elements to grow a frontier business, the 5 elements to grow a frontier business. So what does that mean? Let's first define frontier. Frontier can be defined as representing a cutting edge or pioneering approach to a field or subject, indicating the pursuit of new and uncharted possibilities. So let's go through it. The first element is we're just playing. And Sam Horn has said this often to me over the last 11 years, and it's something that really, really has been in my soul for a really, really long time, is that so many of my businesses, so many of my ideas, so many of our campaigns have come during points of playing. And what's interesting is that in business, often we are kind of working with constraints. Like you have to play in this playground. There's rules, there's laws, there's certain things to kind of have to worry about. But actually, when you are in the ideation and creation phase, there are no rules, there are no constraints, there are no laws to abide by. And that's what's exciting about when we're just playing. So we can really dream big and really create new possibilities. Perfect example is Thinx. Thinx was born out of a 3-legged race. And that was just means we were just playing. My twin sister and I were defending our 3-legged race championship title, our 10-year reigning championship title. It's a very important title that we've upheld for many, many years. We're identical twins, so it's also kind of cheating because we're the same person running, but still. So we basically, while tied to each other, and we like sprinted to the finish line in first place, but then kept going, tied to each other, up the stairs, into the guest room, so that she can go into the bathroom and change out her bathing suit bottoms and wash them out. And as she's washing out her bathing suit bottoms was when the idea hit. Wouldn't it be amazing to create a pair of underwear that was leak-proof, absorbent, antimicrobial, moisture-wicking, that really supported women during really important times like the three-legged race? And then we thought about my older sister, and I remember I used to try to borrow her underwear, and like all of her underwear had like little stains in them. She's really mad at me right now for saying that out loud, but it's true. And she's a surgeon, and she's a head and neck surgeon, and you can't be like, yo, face, while I'm operating her face, I'm gonna go change my tampon, be right back. You can't do that. Or middle of a soccer game, you can't say, hey ref, can you just stop the game, I'm gonna go change my tampon. Or like right now, I'm wearing my Thinx, right now. I can't just be like, guys, hold on, I'm gonna go change my tampon. Like I'm wearing my Thinx right now and it's working. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's really exciting. TUSHY is really kind of focusing on how to bring bidets to America in a way that's interesting to the American people. I mean, Toto and a bunch of different Japanese and European brands have tried to bring bidets to the American market, but just couldn't kind of break through culturally. And that's something that we have really, really done well. And I think we've done it through playing and through playful language. And so we've done like couples who spray together, stay together, poop like royalty with our first ever electric bidet seat. It's Astille Day instead of Bastille Day. We love at first sight. Limited time partnership. So just like we just have a lot of fun. Eat, Spray, Love. We wrote a book called Eat, Spray, Love. We just disarm people, and I think comedy just gets people to be like, like this is really funny. Oh, they're talking about dirt cleaning my butthole, but it's actually, I felt an affinity to it, so I leaned in. Same thing with our artful design. It's the same concept. It's like people found it so beautiful, and they're like, oh my God, they're talking about periods, they're talking about poop. But because it's so beautiful, it disarmed them and it allowed them to actually lean in and try something, potentially even open themselves up to a new possibility. Okay, so that's the first one. We're just playing. The second element to starting a frontier business is start from scratch. Drop the rearview mirror. It's all about zeroing in on the feels and frustrations for getting the same old. It's so often that we're just kind of looking at how other people have done it and just kind of updating it or amending it and just constantly looking at what other people are doing. We really don't do that at any of our companies. We really just focus on what are the pain points that people have? What do people need? What are their desires? A really great thing that I heard is if Henry Ford asked people what they wanted a faster horse, not a car. So if you were listening to what people, if you were listening to like what was possible versus him being like, let me start from scratch. Let me just, what is it that people need? They want to go from point A to point B faster. Let's figure out how to do that. With Thinx, we really completely reimagined the period space. We made it beautiful. We made it artful. The underwear experience, like I'm wearing them right now under this, and I feel sexy. I feel great. Like versus like granny panty pad feeling, like bulky. I feel like I forgot I'm on my period because it just feels like really comfortable, sexy underwear. We can say sexy here, right, guys? Okay. And these are actually quotes from customers. Thinx is Mary Poppins in my pants. Thinx is strength, freedom, and dignity for all women. These are all quotes directly from our customers. With TUSHY, we're innovating around product design, around consumer education, accessibility. Again, we're really, really looking at how to, harness art and, to really make people lean into something new. And then for Hiro, it's really disrupting the diaper industry with a completely new technology, with mushroom technology that's never been done before. So can we harness baby poop and mushrooms to help solve the global plastic crisis? Yes, we can. The third element to creating a frontier business is, oops, awesome. I'm really hoping this will become a meme. I just awesomed it, which means you just made a mistake and it's awesome. Like making mistakes is actually cool versus like sometimes people feel like they don't want to do something that's kind of different and weird or even say like, let's try this totally out of left field thing because what if the team decides to do it and it doesn't work out? I'll feel ashamed, I'll feel bad. We put resources behind it. I'd rather just kind of stick with what we know and just do a little bit of versions of what we've already done before, which is not that interesting, versus like, oops, awesome. Mess up to level up. Every trip up is a step up to the next big thing. Flawed is the new flawless, specifically in the ideation and experimental stages. So yeah, brilliant ideas often come from errors, and some examples of that are penicillin, potato chips, the pacemaker, and even fireworks came from errors. Like, these are all things that, there's so many. This is just a few things that I love. I do love potato chips. And that are really, really important for, the pacemaker is not something that I have, but these are all really, really important inventions in the world today that all came from mistakes. And actually for us, with Hiro, we found one of our most potent plastic eaters by accident. Similarly, from the way penicillin was invented, they found this mold in a petri dish, and he kind of pulled it out from the trash and inspected it and kind of looked at it and found that, wow, penicillin was actually the thing that would, help serve people in their infections. And the same thing with Hiro, we found one of our most potent plastic eaters by accident in a very, very similar way in a petri dish. The fourth element to starting a frontier business is keep it flowing. Stay in constant motion. Iteration is perfection. Stagnation is death. In my book, Disruptor, I talk all about how it's so important to be like a flowing river, not like a stagnant pond. Like, when you think about a flowing river, the flowing river has got like jumping fish in it. It's like keeps moving, and it feels healthy. It smells good. Everything just feels like it's clear. It's clean. You can see the bottom. It's just flowing. It's moving. When you're in a stagnant pond, people say, don't swim in a stagnant pond. It's gunky, it's got grimy buildup, it's got toads and flies, and it's got kind of diseasey infection vibes in there. It's not something that you really want to be in. And so that happens also in our minds too. We have to continue to keep our minds flowing versus being a stagnant pond. Sometimes we can stay looping in our heads about what our colleague said or what happened, the other day at work, or what's happening at home, versus just like keep moving, keep flowing. Always, I always say, like, you have to look at it and actually, integrate the things that you've been feeling. So don't just bypass the feelings, but keep moving through them. Keep moving through them. It's all the same, both in business and in our minds. Be a flowing river, not a stagnant pond. What I'm so proud of is both TUSHY and Hiro offices have working innovation labs built inside of them. And we're, they're both, I would say, Hiro is still a startup. TUSHY is a mid-sized company now. But we have labs inside that we have 3D printers, and we have all kinds of setups. And we're constantly tinkering, constantly reworking, constantly updating, constantly talking to our customers and asking them what they need. And we're just constantly just in our little lab, like little leprechauns, working to try and make it better for people. And I'm very, very, very proud of that. We've gone through lots and lots of different iterations of TUSHY. They seem small, but we have multiple patents across each one of these inventions or innovations and updates in TUSHY. And I'm really proud of that. And then the final element to creating a frontier business is collaborate with nature. Seek the counsel of 3.8 billion years of nature's wisdom is the ultimate source for timeless innovation. I talked about that in the beginning, just around the different types of nature-inspired design. To kind of share with you what we've done with my three companies is that Thinx has helped divert hundreds of millions of plastic tampon applicators and pads from landfills, which we're really, really proud of, and that number is going to get to the billions, which we're just pumped about. TUSHY has helped save over 5 million trees from getting flushed down the toilet to date. We want that number to be in the billions. TUSHY is funding resoiling and reforestry projects all around the world and helping fund the global sanitation crisis. We've helped build out toilets for over 60,000 families in India to date. And it's, that's also a huge environmental strain. So if we can support people who aren't sort of have toilet safety, then it's actually really, really supportive of the planet as well. And then Hiro is, of course, harnessing nature to heal nature, finding plastic-eating mushrooms to help solve the global plastic crisis. So it's been a really, really exciting time for us to kind of like distill all of these years of creating different businesses into kind of a distilled format. So just to kind of give you a quick example of Frontier Creative, I have the last couple of minutes here, seconds here.
Over the last 3 years, I've had this like crazy vision, this crazy dream around building the Bellagio Hotel water fountain show using our bidets, spraying out of toilets. Over COVID, I contacted my friend Chris, who is the best like rigging Renaissance man I know. Chris, I've had this dream of making this fountain show where you can literally play the bidets spraying like a piano. Now it's being actualized, and here we are. We're going for it.
So this next one. I mean, it's art. And this is they're actually being played in real time. So he actually, my friend rigged up the toilets like a piano, and he's a piano concerto pianist. And so he actually was playing them over the audio in real time, which was so insane. Look at his hand motion as he comes off it in a second. Hold on. He goes. Look at his hair. Like a true piano concerto artist. Yeah, all right. So I wrote the book Disrupt and Do Cool Shit. My book will be in the back. We'll be after John's talk. We'll be doing a little book signing at the end. So come say hi to me afterwards. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.